into high gear as we welcome you to coverage of the Big 12 on TNT. It's presented by Honda, Kansas State. Take a look at our starters presented by Honda. Both teams have basically had a week off, both coming in off lopsided losses.
If they want to get this road win.
Kansas State, nightmare stretch. They've lost 3 straight, 8 of their last 9. And they come in after that back at Colorado last weekend. Which of these two teams are going to get themselves right here today? For a beautiful little backdoor cut. It's Haggard and transferring out of the school. And he gets them off and running off the break, the takeaway. And free throws coming up as the officials, GA, they had that amazing run to the Elite Eight, 26 wins in that 22-23 season.
Like he took the ball to the basket, to the board, I should say. So the right call there.
Harding has really come into his own and having a fine season for the Horned Frogs. TCU comes up empty again.
I tell you what, Kansas State not known for their defense, but boy, that has a point here early in this game, and then that was a nice finish there by Kamari McGriff. And punch right back at him. Punch they've had coming into this season, so they've kind of had to make some adjustments on the fly.
Catch and shoot, that's David Castillo. And a good start here. TCU, everyone knows how well that they can defend, but the offense that has been up and down this season, big part of their story so far. Good looking stroke, that's Xavier Ed. Southwest Championship team that they will be honoring at halftime as punch is turned back. This interior defense by
Fans can empathize with, yes. Right? Waking up with a flu bug, it is not a good feeling. As Punch unable to convert on catalyst and the barometer. He's got a chance to be a Draymond Green type. 5-tooler, a guy that affects. His team will follow if he is bringing great energy.
Young man who's made a huge jump since last season. There's a soft little stroke from an 8 in Big 12 play. And what has been a season of tremendous disappointment. This one last touched by TCU.
I'm really excited to get to see those guys, which he's kept in really good touch with, fellas, over the years. Special, that Killer Frogs team that won a share of the South.
A Jamie Dixon team, but here early on, Kansas State has been setting the tone with their energy and activity level, and seems like TCU just a step slow.
4 points. 8 straight points for the Wildcats. Shot clock at 5. Johnson, there's a heat check. Points. How do the Horned Frogs get their offense going? Harding outside, nice little floater. Pretty play.
That 3-point line, and Toulson able to create offensively off the drive there. How about ending that 11-0 run and then right back at you with that easy Utah, where they really struggled early offensively, dug themselves a huge hole and valiantly fought.
And when you think of the way that they started this year, GA, they went to Lawrence, Kansas in early January, and then that late meltdown where they blew a 9-point lead with 1:14 left. They basically haven't recovered since then, and right now,
early, and it's kind of derailed their season, but they've got some good pieces here, and they put them on display here.
This is his 5th straight BNP. Bashir is one of the best 3-point shooters in the country, top 10 in Division I.
Offensive team, but they can't defend if they're not able to do anything positive offensively. And boy, I'll tell you what, Marcus Johnson is TCU by himself.
Marcus Johnson, who had 3 total points on the season entering this one, has hit 4 threes in the half. He's got a dozen. Come the Frogs. This is Toulson. Harding from deep.
And that's an example of Toulson on the attack. Could have taken.
They've lost 6 of their last 8, including the last 2. That big one, Colorado, and then the home game against Houston last week. Good-looking stroke. It's a start for David Castillo with all the K-State injuries. Beautiful ball movement on the corner. This is Harding, and that's another 3. Now P.J. Haggerty having a big game so far. Here he is in the corner, and that is good. Cash money. Haggerty
has been doing here early and often.
Big 12 matchup. Couple of teams trying to get themselves right. Kansas State 1-8 in league play.
For TCU, just keep in mind, they got Iowa State coming in. They got to go to Oklahoma State at UCF, which is playing great basketball. So they to the rim.
Robinson catch and shoot, get it. So suddenly this TCU offense now is starting to show a pull for. A low little turnaround won't go. Good interior defense. And then off the broken play, they get it to Haggerty, their star.
Turnover.
On the drive, it's Johnson. They're going to count it and contact, says Tony Padilla.
This is getting late.
Pushback locally in Kansas about that comment, and we asked Jerome Tang.
And I'll tell you what, they seem to have responded really well here today.
David punch in tight. Into the corner to Robinson. Underneath on a scoop attempt. And the officials say last touch by TCU. So give them credit. They've come back and played well. They've responded after that really rough showing last weekend as Toulson misses at the rim and Robinson is there to stick it back.
Times defensively, though, you saw the activity necessary. And they come right back and get broken down there. That is just way
stretch. 59 points per game. Shooting sub 38%, only around 32% from three. The free throw line here for some critical points for the Frogs. Senior Providence. Yeah, it ain't gonna take much from Marcus Johnson, all that power. As Robinson lets it fly, and he's giving them. Still playing without their sharpshooter, Abdi Bashir. So far, the offense hasn't been much of an issue in this game. Haggerty slices in, pretty teardrop.
Those 4 turnovers. They also have not gotten good looks here of late. And now you see TCU, getting the ball inside. That's their strength. That was a big. This game is still in the balance, even though you played so well. You could go in feeling like you're down if they somehow TCU finishes this first half.
Jerome Tang. As we come up on the final 2 minutes of this first half.
Look at the difference, though, defensively, up until that interior pad. That was
ending a 7-0 TCU run. Tanner Toulson underneath, boy, exquisite pass. And then a stick.
Times you're going to be a little more passive. And now that he's gotten his confidence, he's figured out where he can impact it.
It's in the conference in league play in field goal percentage.
This season, they've gotten a lot more active, a lot more physical, and it's turning into offensive opportunities.
Remember, they had those 2 early quad 1 wins over Florida, the defending national champions. Taj Manning couldn't hit it. Fast break opportunity and quick defensive hands by Nate Johnson. As we're down
right here, you're going to have to do it defensively.
Toulson bangs in a 3.
And that is, you've got to identify shooters in those situations. That was just way too easy for TCU.
In just about 6 minutes. Both free throws converted, 14 sixes. Shot clock is all 3-point stroke, and they can't miss. Harding. A TCU get their season turned around is sky high. This is David punch. And obviously a focal point of the conversation for Jamie Dixon at halftime as he's going to get
Haggerty to control more of the offense after that rest. He received some treatment at halftime. He's been dealing with flu-like symptoms all day. Continue to defend at that level to stay in this game.
Yeah, Jared, he switched the defense, but it's the intent.
On January the 20th as they come up empty on their first trip. And this Jerome Tang coach team get their season turned around. Playing it, Edmonds got the rebound. Castillo. They're going to reset. This is Nate Johnson. Splash. Big basket for the Cats.
Yeah, and that was, I thought it would knock down that triple to kind of steady the ship here.
Boy, James Pierre, just a beautiful maneuver under control. It was kind of
setter for them defensively, and then his speed and aggression at times offensively as well.
Here's P.J. Haggerty. Can they get him going again? And commanding, remember he redshirted as his freshman. Longest tenured player on this K-State roster. Working hard underneath is Edmonds.
And he does a really good job of staying in attack mode here. And that free throw line here, not a friend.
One under Tang That run to the Elite Eight that had everyone so excited in Manhattan.
Well, we got to see that again.
Offensive rebound. Buka misses point blank as the Wildcats crash the offensive glass.
No situation. And listen, if they got it right, it should be Kansas State's ball. I just didn't like the rule with the fact that they couldn't determine whether or not it went off the line, and Haggerty in the flew in. That was a beautiful attack there.
So Haggerty now 14 points. Explosive move to the cup. Sophomore out of Kansas City, Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. Toolson is going to be a traveling violation.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the free throw line has really been the Achilles heel here of TCU.
10th half at 4 threes. If you just joined us, and he's looking for some more, and he knocks it in. Marcus Johnson is having.
Yeah, he made the right choice in giving it up.
We're just teasing Haggerty, of course, an elite scorer. Look at Robinson. He just keeps coming. Defense by Robinson.
Yeah, that time off the dribble. That's not the way you want to take those shots.
Johnson.
I tell you what, punch there on the
Toolson. Little Euro step. And he's going to shoot free throws when we come back.
With all the things that have happened, he's been the difference in the game.
Mentioned that the two starters that they do get Kamari McGriff back after he missed the last 4 games.
Free throws been made. 10 of 21 from the free throw line in this game. Otherwise, they might find themselves in control.
There's Levicius, who's been awfully quiet. And the Frogs come up empty. Here comes Haggerty, knifing inside, going glove.
Few possessions. He has been the guy that's set the tone for you. Keep him engaged.
Manning defends Edmonds, and then it's Nate Johnson. Top scorer and rebounder checks back into the game here. 7-point TCU deficit as we cross the 13-minute mark. Haggerty starting to take the game up.
And if you're TCU, you're going to have to guard him collectively as a group. One person's not going to be able to contain him.
Haggerty. Again, full circle moment for Haggerty. Spent the first part of his freshman year here at TCU as Levicius. Look at that Kansas State defensive rotation. Levicius, active hands, and it's last touched by Kansas.
And tell you that his teammates told him, you've heard of the flu game? Instead of MJ, beat PJ and have that flu game today.
I tell you, he's
games here before he redshirted and transferred out. But you know, you look at the totality of his career. You mentioned one of 2 players in the country right now averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Cameron Boozer of Duke.
He'd be getting a lot more notice nationally, but for the fact that they have not been as good collectively here. With that shot anytime. Let's try to get a better look. And then again, Johnson comes up with the steal in the open floor. It looks like the air.
So Jaden Pierre grimaces his way to the bench, and they turn it over again. Castillo ahead of the field. Haggerty. And this thing, once again, microcosm of how their season has been. And everything they can handle from a desperate Kansas State team. David Punch. Greg, you just would like to Marcus Johnson. That's his 5th personal with 9:30, a 4th personal, I beg your pardon, with 9:33 left. So he's got to be careful. Castillo resets. This is Johnson pounded on the 3-point line by Edmonds. Haggerty coming back door, and he goes high off glass. Potential quad 1, quad 2 games as Toolson lets it fly, and he missed everything.
We talked about K-State in a lot of ways. This is a
Games which are very winnable games to close the season out.
It's a team that still has some opportunities, but boy, that big one on Tuesday against
minutes to go in a game where you're trailing by 9. You have got to find a way.
Beautiful setup as Pierre underneath gets it.
Not able to play out on an island by himself. And then you got to control your defensive backboard, which they don't do there. And that's going to give Buka an opportunity. Doesn't corral.
So Dorian Buka, young man born in Romania, holds dual. But Greg, you make a great point. Not worth looking ahead for TCU and Jamie Dixon if they can't take care of business here. This would be a devastating loss. Not only did they lose that game, they lost their starting center 7 minutes into that game. Malik Diallo, that devastating injury, turns the corner. Hey, Johnson, baseline. Jay Cash Money. Johnson, who's been terrific, 13. Haggerty. Now Kansas State throwing misses badly. Robinson on the push. Full head of steam, layup. No, in the putback. Edmonds.
A 4-point game.
Edmonds has 16 and 7. Haggerty, a chance at 3.
He is becoming their best player. And boy, if they get punched to match his intensity, they're going to get a travel here. Man, that's
5-point game. Harding is going to let it fly. Well short. Offensive rebound. Edmonds. He just will not. K-State 2 timeouts. TCU has 1, and both teams have a challenge. McGriff wide open. Caught it, finished in 1. And what has been just a sensational performance.
TCU, can you get the ball inside to your bigs?
Edmonds. Day. And we are tied here at Fort Worth. Got it. TCU has its first lead. The city. Crowd quiets down. 2-point lead. It is over here in Fort Worth. TCU with its biggest